Hey, it's Lucius. I have a video that I've been wanting to upload, but I feel this is a little more important to talk about right now. Given the elections in the US, which is wreaking havoc everywhere, I might as well talk about this first. And I don't really want to be on camera right now, which is why the screen is blank right now and you're just gonna see subtitles. I would have released my other video earlier too, but I've been dealing with some adverse life things, even outside of the elections. A close friend passed away recently, and this is somebody who played a huge part in the development of Veil, which is my fantasy world and fantasy novels that I've been working on. And I will talk about that in a future video, but for now, oh my god, is everybody okay? Like, are you okay? Because, like, this is a little late, but I wanted to check on everybody because the outcome of the election is not what a lot of us were expecting or wanting. And I know there are a lot of people who did want this result. To those people, like, why? They don't care about you. They're not going to fix the economy. They're going to make it worse. The things that they said they are going to fix, they are going to just make worse, honestly. If they deport 1 million immigrants per year, that's going to cost, what was it, $88 billion to the government, just so you know. That's going to come out of your pocket. So there's literally no upside for you. I don't know why you are thinking this was a good idea. It is very much not a good idea. I don't normally talk about, like, politics. I mean, kinda. I mean, everything is political, but I don't usually talk about things like elections and stuff on my channel. But this is something that I think this is going to affect everyone. This is going to screw everyone over, whether you're in the US or outside the US, because the agenda of this particular cabinet, they want to deregulate a lot of things, including, all the things in place that are trying to protect the earth. Climate change is going to get worse. There's going to be a lot less regulations on food. I've heard that they are going to also take fluoride out of the water. Now, I don't know, don't quote me on any of these, because I don't know, if all of these things will actually happen. But these are statements that are, from these people. These are the things they want to do. Why? I know some people are paranoid about fluoride or whatever, but bruh, it's the one reason why our teeth aren't falling out at age 30. Fun fact, the reason fluoride was put in the water was to help promote oral health, to help promote the health of your teeth so you don't lose them early. And so far, it has been actually helpful in that, and it's not in harmful amounts. So anyway, I'm not here to try to also convince those people that all of this is crazy, because I think most reasonable people will agree a lot of these things that they want to do are absolutely insane. And I know that particularly for LGBT people, trans people, queer people in general, people of color, disabled people, neurodivergent people, we're all really scared, which is understandable, because this particular group of people that are now in power, they don't want us here. They will do everything they can to try to suppress our existence, to try to keep us out of public spaces, to try to quote unquote protect, good normal Americans from people like us. But hey, we're all American. If you're one of what you think the normal Americans are, which are probably just straight white people, they're coming for you too, eventually. Once they're done suppressing all the minorities out of existence, they're coming for you next. They're going to strictly regulate everything. You could be a straight white man, and due to a repressive government, you could still end up broke and homeless, and let's say when you're homeless, your hair starts growing out and you don't have access to a barber or even a pair of scissors, and then you get arrested for cross-dressing in public because your hair is a little too long because of all the anti-trans laws. Now, this is an extreme example. It's one of those things where it's not saying this is going to happen for sure, but it's I'm just giving you a glance into what could happen if this is taken as far as they want to take this. This will affect everybody. So, man, I always feel this need to try to, convince people out of their crazy. I think because I grew up with crazy. I grew up with kind of a repressive religious environment and, not being allowed to really ask questions. And then when I finally came out of that, and developed critical thinking skills, it's like I'm looking at everyone else still stuck in that. And I'm like, I want to get them out. I want to help them. I want to tell them, hey, this is crazy. What's happening? Can't you see it? It's right in front of you. But these people, like, they won't even, whether it's religious cults or political cults, even if you put evidence right in front of them, they will not listen. Their minds are wired in such a way that they will shut that down, and they will double down, and they will fall into this like persecution complex, basically, where if you even so much as very gently question them, they will see it as a threat, and they will see it as, oh my God, I'm being attacked, even if they're the ones who are attacking you. So those of you who, like me, you have some hope going forward, also, like, just remember to protect your energy, because some of these people, you can't convince them to not be crazy. It's on a spectrum, though. Like, there might be people in your life who they're more towards the side of crazy, but they show signs of like being able to listen and really think and kind of question things. Those people, I think, have a chance, and we should give them a chance. And this is kind of just what I would tell to myself, I guess. But if there's people who are kind of like me, just know it's not your responsibility to, how do I put it, to undoctrinate people, to convince them out of their crazy. I think the best that we can do right now is focus on surviving and just doing our best and taking action within our abilities. I know not everybody can. We're all in kind of different circumstances. Like me, for example, I'm disabled, and I'm very limited in the energy that I have and what I can do. So what I'm doing right now, this is something that I can do. It's just recording my thoughts for the internet. But yeah, that's also the reason why the screen is blank and I'm not on camera, is to preserve my limited energy that I have while still trying to get this message out. So there are other YouTubers out there who can probably give better advice, more specific advice on things that you can do. Some of the things that I have heard are like mutual aid, like giving to mutual aid groups who will try to help, people in minority groups, like pay their rent or afford food, or just help them in some other way. And I mean, there's always protesting, but at this point, I don't know how effective that is, because just as you've probably noticed, especially since 2020, like there has been increased crackdowns on protests. So if you do attend a protest, just be safe and be prepared for insanity. And you could also just, the things that I'm thinking of that I can do within my abilities is just existing, honestly. If you're someone who is trans or disabled or otherwise marginalized, within reason, within some level of safety, don't go into hiding. Be yourself. I know it's going to be hard because people are more emboldened to be extremely bigoted and sometimes even violent towards minority groups. But if we go into hiding, if trans people go stealth or detransition, which would be awful, we're just going to be worse off if we do that. I think we should still just be ourselves and just keep going. Do whatever you need to do to stay safe. Like, you don't have to run around flying a trans flag or a pride flag everywhere, especially if it's dangerous. I have heard that some people are taking down their pride flags and trans flags that they had on their house or their windows, because they don't want their home to be targeted, because they want to protect their home and the people living in it. Same for bumper stickers. I'm out and proud, but I'm also careful about what stickers I put on the back of my car, because I don't want it to get vandalized. I can't afford to get a new car. The most I'm comfortable with is just putting a autistic driver sticker on my car, just pro autism, supporting disabled people kind of stickers, because those are things that I think most people are understanding of. I don't think my car is going to get vandalized for an autism awareness or autism acceptance sticker or something. But yeah, just do what you can to protect yourself while also not giving up. I've heard that people are also strongly thinking about leaving the country, which I do not blame you, honestly. If you need to do that to stay safe, go for it. Just know that that's a big deal, moving out of the country. Probably easier to move to a blue state in the US or a more liberal area if you're in an area that's not very safe for people like you, whoever you are. But if you were to move to another country, especially if you don't have experience with that could be a lot. You got to deal with culture shock. You got to deal with potentially learning a new language. It depends on the country that you're going to. It's a big deal. So just if you're going to do that, please give it a lot of thought, weigh the pros and cons, know that there are downsides and issues in other countries that you might have to deal with. So just do your research and figure out if life here is so horrible for you that you have to move out of the country. If a lot of the things that this administration is planning to do, if any of that actually happens, or if a lot of it happens, I feel like at that point, that would be a strong reason to move to a blue state or flee the country. Because, like, I know for me, if they cut Social Security and Medicare, like if it just wasn't there anymore, I would probably just leave to the UK or something. That would be hard because I am disabled. I would have to like get a job, get maybe like a job visa or something, and work my butt off and possibly become more mentally ill for a while until I can get on their benefits. But if they were to just put more restrictions on some of these things, it would make my life harder, yes. But I am already in the system and I am already receiving as much help as I can right now, and I'm gonna make the best of it. It's sort of like a cost-benefit analysis, if that makes sense. Oh, and another thing, take care of yourself. Even just focusing on taking care of yourself and surviving can make a big impact, because if you're miserable trying to overdo it, trying to do things that are beyond your ability, or feeling guilty that you can't do certain things, like all that's going to do is hurt you. So know that if you are like disabled, or if you're so busy that there's no way that you can do much, like I know there are people who are working like 3 jobs and like don't even have time to breathe. Like, it's okay to take care of yourself, or to take care of the people around you, or your family, or your kids, or your chosen family. Like, it's okay if there's not a whole lot you can do. Just surviving and being yourself, that can already be very impactful. So don't feel bad if you can't do any like crazy political actions. I actually do want to engage more in local politics, which is something else I wanted to touch on real quick. When these elections happen that are on the federal level, they can seem very scary because, you know, if we get the wrong candidate who wants to destroy a lot of things, it makes it seem like everywhere it's going to be bad. But know that the local environment around you can make more of an impact on your quality of life than if you're looking at this whole country as a whole. Whatever's happening locally, I think, is in some ways like maybe not more important, but it definitely is more impactful on the individual. So if you do want to get involved in anything, like keeping it local can actually help a lot, because, you know, there could even be things like just volunteering at a food pantry for a day. Or for me, like, you know, I can't really work. So for me, I might donate to a food pantry because sometimes I buy too much food. Like if I have canned goods that I'm like, I don't think I'm going to eat these, I'll just donate it to a food pantry. Even just little things like that, they can really make a difference, because when we have really robust support systems in our local communities, that's definitely going to make our lives a lot easier. So definitely look into what's happening around you in your immediate vicinity. And if there is something lacking, for example, like if there are no queer events or queer groups, and like you're a queer person who wants to meet other queer people, like you could start something, even if it's just small, like just start like a hangout spot and be like, oh, let's all meet at the park or something. You know, be careful, be safe though when you do it, obviously. But you know, maybe there's something you can create in your local vicinity that can at least just increase morale and to help people find friends and comfort in each other and all that good stuff. So yeah, just keep going. Don't give up. Find other people who are like you, who are going through the same stuff. If you're queer or trans, like find other queer or trans people. If you're autistic, find other autistic people. Now there's a lot of overlap between these communities, so, you know, we might all just be, you know, crossing paths a lot. But help each other out as much as you can. Things are probably going to get tough, but I think if we stick together, we are stronger together than we are apart. So yeah, that's all I have to say. And hugs, hugs, big hugs.